welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
This time without a band backing you. So why? What's all come about?
Well, when was the last time I saw you?
Oh God, like a year and a bit ago. And you told me, Bedouin, you were going to go back in the studio and write, and you weren't tour again, and then you went on the road for like another year and did the No Doubt run in Australia and all this other stuff. You basically been on the road for like.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, okay.
Because we toured too much. So I'd started writing because I was just playing. Actually, I wrote one of these songs around that time I saw you because I was right after the Insight thing, right?
Yeah, it was the day after.
So Narceritos was on this record. I was playing that soundtrack that day. I started writing some songs. I wasn't really looking to do a solo project, but we kind of had a bit like a breakdown in the band, and then eventually sort of just personally had to just hash through some stuff that all those years of touring, like you say we're going to stop touring and go back and record, and then we go out and do the No Doubt tour and we go to Australia, and so we just needed to take a break, and the only way I knew how to was to write through it. So
I think that's very therapeutic for most songwriters. That's how you get through things. And growing a beard, it seems. Everyone that does a solo record needs to grow a beard as well.
That's because I didn't mean to grow this. Do I have a beard now?
Well, it's getting there.
All right. I'm not trying to look like I'm in Sam Roberts' band.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of music for you. Do you remember the records that got you into music? Like, what was one of the first ones you picked up that's like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life?
First record I ever that I loved was Twist and Shout by the Beatles. When I was like 5 years old. But that one just really connected with me. My mom was really nice, and she was a huge Beatles fan. Went to the first. She lived in Toronto. Saw the Beatles both times they came.
Huh.
So she was one of those young Beatlemaniacs.
Just screaming the whole time.
Screaming, yeah. We were talking about that in the car today. In the van today. We're like, why do girls love screaming at shows? But anyways, when I heard Twist and Shout, I was like a screaming little girl, and I would go nuts to that song, like rip apart the house. So that's the first song, and so my mom took her vinyl and just repeatedly put it onto a cassette tape and put on repeat, so I could just put it in, and it would play for hours and hours. That was the first song. But the first band was the Clash. When I was younger, my mom my mom was more musical, was musically inclined than my dad. I'd like Leonard Cohen, and she'd give me Bob Dylan stuff, and then I saw with Joe Strummer, it was like all those things, but with what I liked as well. So
I read somewhere Dylan got you into guitar.
I always just wanted to play guitar. Dylan, one thing I remember is when I fought one of the first sort of bands I was in when I was 13. Like I wanted to play Lay Lady Lay. And
you get that weird voice he's got on that cut.
Yeah, that's when he stopped smoking.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I know. He sounds like Roy Orbison.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, anyways, I wanted to play that song so badly. Everyone else just wanted to play Rage Against the Machine.
And you kind of found it in between.
In between.
Bedouin's kind of in between. Well,
Bedouin's
more Dylan than
than
Rage. but whatever. And this record is extremely different from all that. It's very much Dylan-esque. It's really raw. Like your vocals sound far away in a lot of it. Why the production the way it came out?
Recorded that at Armory Studios, in Vancouver, which has a huge live room. Like it's built like a cathedral. So we just set up mics all around the room. And there's probably about 30 mics on all the time. We'd have a piano. There'd be stations like a piano, and then I'd have my guitar set up here. So then I'd have a kick drum over here, and I would just start layering on the tracks.
Oh, so you're playing everything?
I'm playing everything. On a few tracks, the guys in Paul and Steve in Hot Hot Heat played drums on Santa Monica and piano, organ, and then they also played on There's a Light. But other than that, it was me. Kenny Bridges from O'Neill played on Vacant Youth. But other than that, it was me. I would do a first take. I'd come in the studio, put down usually the guitar and the vocals. So we had a lot of ambience on it. We didn't put it on afterwards. It's just sort of out of the floor.
Yeah.
And then we have a kick drum, and they have a fire escape, and they put mics down the fire escape so that when I played the kick drum, it would sound like a cannon, like because we'd mic it really high on the end of the stairwell, and the sound would just be bouncing everywhere. So it sounded. I want it to be just raw, you know.
I don't mean this to sound bad at all. It sounds like you recorded in your apartment almost in a way.
Yeah.
Is that what you were going for? You wanted that like home recording?
Yeah.
Kind of feeling? You can hear all the stuff going on in the background now because they're sound checking for your show.
I wanted to make this interview feel like we
it's called the BackStage Pass for a reason, right? So, but I'm wondering, the tour, it's just you, or do you have people coming up on stage with you? Because you're touring across the country. People need to know what to expect.
Yeah, it's me for the first half of the set, and then I have Michael Rolth over there who's on the phone. What's up, Rolth? Yeah, man. He's in this. He's in this. We saw Rolth play. He's from Edmonton, and he has like a solo project he's doing right now. It's really good. And we have Kenny Starr as well. She opening, and so she's playing with me as well.
Nice.
In the last half of the set.
I read somewhere that writing for Bedouin was never your natural way to write.
No, that was what I liked about it. And I think that's been taken across as like, it wasn't like you wanted to do it. It was just that when me and Eon met, our friendship was based on the differences that we really liked in each other. Like, you know, what we didn't know was exciting. You know, so I would be trying to write something.
To impress Eon.
Yeah, you know what? Because in a strange way.
That's how it always is, though. You want to impress your friends.
Because Eon always wanted to leave. He like in the beginning, because we were at school and he's like, this band thing, but man, I'm not gonna play in a band, and this is never gonna work. I'm like, this is gonna work, man, if we just keep going. Like, so I had to write better songs so that he'd be like, this is kind of cool.
Huh.
That was honestly, that's how it happened. So, but it was we based it around like, you know, Eon wouldn't necessarily listen to The Clash, but he would get all into it. So we were just trading ideas, and it was always like pushing ourselves to do something slightly outside.
Right.
Whereas with this record, it was like, I didn't think about the music. I mean, that's just, the music wasn't, it was lyrics, and then the music was just naturally, I write.
Eon kind of pushed you to make this record.
Eon didn't push me to do it. But Eon was supportive, and I've said the one reason I've said that a lot is because I know I wanted this to look like we weren't together as like a unit being like,
right.
Because so many people will say, "Oh, your band's over" or something, you know, and we're so supportive of each other in whatever we do, and that's, you know, Eon liked the songs. He's like, you have to. At times I didn't want to do it. And he's like, no, you know, you should put a record out. It's not totally like self-indulgent. So.
Kind of like everyone pushing Dallas to put out that City in Color record.
Yeah.
In a way.